Most of us shop online. Our online carts are getting bigger by the day. But did you voluntarily pick those items you bought? Or were you tricked into it? And don't be confused, most of us don't recognize these tricks. They're called dark patterns. They trick you into buying things or subscribing to a service. Most online retailers do it, but now the government of India is on to them. The Consumer Affairs Ministry of India has met major e-commerce giants. All the bigwigs were in attendance, like Flipkart, Zomato, Amazon, Big Basket. The government says consumers should not be tricked. They say consent by deceit is not consent. So what's the plan of action? We'll get to that, but first, let's understand these dark patterns. How do they work? Well, they come in different forms, like disguised advertisements, forced continuity, or bait and switch. Different tactics, but the same objective, to trick you into clicking buy. Since I mentioned three types, I'll explain them. First, disguised advertisements. What are they? Take a look at this website. It's a download link from a Mac software. But how many download buttons do you see? 3. Only one is the real download button, the rest are fake. If you click them, you're forwarded to another website. This is false advertising. It's an ad masquerading as a download link. Next, we come to forced continuity. What is that? Assume that you've used your credit card for a streaming service. It was supposed to be a trial. You paid money through your card. But the next month, you get charged again. Why? Because the service has an auto-renewal policy. You did not see it. It was probably buried deep inside their terms and conditions. That is forced continuity. And finally, bait and switch. All of us have seen those golden offers or sales, a tablet for $100. It's a pretty good deal, right? But you click on it and the product is out of stock. Instead, the website offers you other products, other similar products, like another tablet for $105 or $110 or more. Do you see what just happened? You got baited with a $100 offer, but once inside, the seller switched with a more expensive one. Hence, bait and switch. Now think back to all those purchases you made online, gadgets, home appliances, clothes, whatever you bought. Do you think you were tricked? Chances are at least some of you were, and these are just some of the dark patterns at play. There are dozens more of them, like phishing emails. Take a look at this one. It says your password expires in 24 hours. Click below to set a new password. Spoiler alert, there is no password. If you click on it, you get redirected to a website. Sometimes these emails will also have a timer just to nudge you along. All of these tactics are illegal and deceitful, which is why the government is cracking down on them. They've asked online retailers to impose ethical guidelines, also to carry out independent audits. The objective is to weed out such strategies, but consumers will also have to be educated about what's happening here. Most people cannot identify these dark patterns. So in their mind, it's not cheating. But every now and then, the online platforms get called out. And you can thank social media for that. Let me show you this incident from last year. A man from Mumbai did an apple-to-apple comparison. He bought the same stuff from the same restaurant. The first time he bought offline, the second time through a food delivery app. Now look at the difference. The offline bill was 512 rupees. The online bill for the same product was 690 after applying discounts. That's almost 34% more. What explains this difference? In one word, commissions. Most delivery apps charge up to 30% commission for generating business. But the restaurants try to avoid that. How do they do it? By increasing the overall price. They put the commissions burden on us, the consumer. And don't forget the other charges that almost always apply, like packaging or extra distance. So put together, you end up paying a lot more. What's the solution here then? One is more regulation. The other is leveling the playing field. Let me introduce you to ONDC, the Open Network for Digital Commerce. It's a government-backed online retail network. You can find all kinds of sellers on it. Restaurants, grocery stores, gadget hubs, even fashion. ONDC, by the way, is doing quite well. It clocked around 30,000 orders last weekend, 30,000 over the weekend, and most of it was food and beverage. More and more consumers are switching to ONDC. And why is that? Because things are cheaper here. At first, this was because of massive discounts. But on the 1st of June, ONDC reduced those incentives. Now you get 3 discounts per day. Even then, the orders are zooming. What does that tell you? A, maybe there is more trust in a government platform, and B, it is still cheaper. That's a strong message for all those e-commerce giants. India's digital consumer market is worth $500 billion. It was $500 billion in 2020. By 2030, it could hit $1 trillion. Those consumers want the best deals. They don't want dark patterns or hidden charges.